Morning everybody, and thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. Now I'm on a different permission today and I don't normally come this far down on it. The reason being is that these few fields here are usually full of people riding their horses, and on the other couple of occasions that I have been down here the grass has been about 2 foot long, but today there's no horses, no people, and the grass is quite short. So bonus. There are plenty of other horses in the surrounding fields, but there's none in here. The only other animal that I did spot was a young deer just over there having its breakfast. I'll show you that later on. Now, I've never been in these two fields, so I don't know whether or not we'll find anything. Just have to keep his fingers crossed. So we'll make a start and just hope for the best, my friends. So I'll catch you on the first decent signal, if I get one. That we get. Okie dokie. Catch you all later. Well, I hope this is not a sign of things to come, because this is the first decent signal that I've had, and it's wasp spray, and I certainly hope that I don't need any. Right, we'll pop that into the bag and we'll see if we can find anything a bit more interesting. Right then, well, I think we've eventually found something halfway decent. Well, actually, that's not fair. It's a coin, and it's quite a nice coin. I found it in the spoil just there, and it's an old threepenny bit. I know some of you won't remember the old threepenny bits, but it's the funny shaped coin with all the flat sides, and it's worth threepence. But yeah, it's a nice enough coin, although the ones I find are always in very poor condition. I don't know who the monarch is. It'll either be George VI or our present Queen. Unless I was fortunate enough to find one by somebody that abdicated, which is very unlikely to happen. But there you go. In fact, I don't think they ever put any of his coins into circulations when he abdicated from the throne and his brother took over, the Queen's dad. I think there was some knocking about in Bermuda or somewhere like that, but you'll never find one in this country. Well, if you do, you'll be very lucky. Write your own cheque. And it's George VI. I can just about see him now. Anyway, let's fill the hole in and see if we can find anything else. Right then, we've got another target down here. It was only about maybe 4 inches deep, something like that. I thought it was a piece of copper pipe at first, but now I'm not so sure. It looks as though it might have got some sort of design on one end, but at that end just there it looks quite solid. So I don't actually think it's a piece of copper pipe, but what it is, I haven't got the faintest idea. Anyway, we'll pop it in the bag and we'll crack on. Right then, peeps, we've got a target down here. As you can see, I'm just on the edge of the field now. Yeah, target down here, only about 5 inches deep, and it's just there, my friends. And I suspect it's either a button or one of those wafer thin jeton things that's never got anything on. Well, the jetons that I find have never got anything on anyway. So as I say, it's either a jeton or a button. My money is on a button. It's still in the little cloddy thing, so let's open it together and see whether we've got a scabby jeton or a scabby button. Well, there it is in the cloddy thing. Well, that is a button. You see shank on it just there. Oh well, there you go. I don't know which is best, scabby button or a scabby jeton. Alright, we'll pop it into the boxy thing and we'll crack on a bit further. Well, I don't mind telling you, it's absolutely red hot out here Not that I'm complaining, you understand, although a little bit more rain would be appreciated. Anyway, we've got another target down here. It's about 6 inches deep. Came up at a bit of a scratchy 71, 72. I thought we'd got a coin, but we haven't. We've got another button. Quite a large button, I suppose. No shank on the back. Looks as though it's made out of possibly pewter, maybe. I think there could be quite a nice design in the centre of it, a bit like a rope design, but I'll see better when I clean it up. But it's a nice find all the same. Right, I'll let you have a quick look at that before we fill the hole in. Right, I don't know whether you can see the design in the centre of it, maybe not, but I'm not complaining. It's better than a mull tube or a piece of scrap lead. Right, we'll fill the hole in and crack on. Right then, you good people. Well, this is a perfect example of why you should always check your hole before you fill it in. The button I found was just there, and before I filled the hole in, I just ran the detector over the top of it and I got a signal just there, which is probably about 2 foot away from where the button was. It's only about 4, maybe 5 inches deep, and I think we might just have got ourselves a little silver coin. In fact, I'm almost certain we have. Anyway, I'll bring you a bit closer so you can have a better look. And there it is, my friends, just in the bottom of the clump there. You can just see it sticking out. We've got ourselves a nice little silver hammered coin, although it does look as though it's been clipped to death. It's not very round, but I don't care. What a cracking little find that is. I haven't found a hammered silver coin for ages. I've got no idea who the monarch is. I'll have to clean it up first and do some research on it. But what a wonderful find. Just let you have a look at that. If you can see it. I can't see very well for the sun. And just see it there. Right then, my good friends, I'll pop it away and let you have a better look later. Right, I'll just quickly show you this one. It was only about 5 inches deep. I thought it was a bit of scrap lead at first, but looking at it, I don't think it is. I think it might be pewter, the way it's crumbling away. And it's just a possibility that it's some sort of religious token, because I've found 1 or 2 religious tokens on this permission before. I don't think there's anything on it, not that I can see anyway, but we'll clean it up later and have a better look. Right, I think it's time for a spot of lunch. Right, catch you in a bit, everybody. Right then, my good friends, well, we've got a target down here. It's only about 4, maybe 5 inches deep. Came up at 78, 79 on the Amphibio. Cracking signal all the way around it. And I think we've got an absolutely cracking lead artifact. I thought it was a piece of scrap at first, but looking at it, it looks like a little figure. It's almost, well, I don't know. It's got its arms folded, and I don't know, it might be some sort of religious figure, which wouldn't surprise me at all for this particular area because of the religious tokens I've found. But that is a very strange lead artifact, and I love it. I think the bottom of his feet may be broken off, but it's an absolutely belting find. Well, you know I love my lead artefacts. Anyway, I'll let you have a look at that. I'll just have to flip the camera around so I can see what I'm doing. And there it is. There's the little person in question. Like I said, it almost looks Egyptian, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't suppose it's Egyptian for 1 minute, but what a cracking little find that is. Right, we'll pop it into the boxy thing and we'll plod on. Right, my good friends, well, this is my last signal before I go home, and it's a coin, and there was also a bit of clay pipe in the hole. So my theory is that whoever it was sat down for a smoke, dropped a coin out of their pocket, and that were it. There's the imprint. Looks like a coin of nothingness to me. Once more, yeah, you bugger. Yeah, coin of nothingness. Can't see anything on it whatsoever. Well, there it is, my friends, whatever it is. Anyway, I'll see you at home for the roundup, and don't forget to stick around for the shout outs, because there's a good new channel that I want to mention. Okie dokie. Right, I'll see you all at home for the roundup. Right, welcome back everybody. Now, just before we have a look at the finds, I want to do a couple of shout outs. The first one is for a new Facebook group called Old Farts Detecting Group UK. Now they cater for the, let's say, older metal detector, and they also specifically cater for metal detectors who have problems actually getting out there to do some metal detecting. Maybe they've got medical complaints, that kind of thing. But it's a good group. There's some really nice people on it, and they've got some very knowledgeable people on it as well, just in case you want any help identifying some of your finds. So it's well worth a visit. So that's the Old Farts Detecting Group UK. Next time you're on Facebook, pop over and have a look. Okie dokie. The next shout out is for a relatively new metal detecting channel called Down to Earth Detecting, and it's hosted by a really nice woman called Julie, and here she is. So that's Julie from Down to Earth Detecting. I will leave a link in the description, and don't forget to go and have a look at Old Farts Detecting Group UK. Okie dokie, my good friends. Right, let's have a look at the finds. Right then, let's have a look at the finds. Now, the reason I dug that piece of iron up and I didn't ignore it is because quite some time ago I was detecting in one of the other fields down there, and I dug that up, which is a small cannonball which would have been fired from what they call a serpentine cannon, which is a small portable cannon, and they used those during the English Civil War. So when I get a small iron signal, I dig it up just in case it's one of those, but obviously it's not. Anyway, over here we've got some pieces of scrap lead, bit of copper tubing, 4-hole button, part of a blister pack of tablets. This item here I thought was going to be another piece of copper tube, but it's not. It's a lot thicker than normal copper tubing. It's quite heavy, it's solid just there, and I think that is what's left of an old hawking whistle. Not much left of it, granted, but I think that's what it was. That item there I still think is what's left of a religious token. It's pewter because bits keep dropping off, flaking off, as you can see. There's no detail on it, as I say, but I think that's what it was. Little button that was in the clump of soil that we looked at together, just an ordinary button. That was the other button, probably made out of pewter. Got a little rope design in the centre of it, you might just be able to see that. This button I didn't film because I thought it was just going to be a scabby old button. Turns out, on the other side, it's got quite a nice design. It's got the lion and the unicorn either side of a crown. It's got some Latin writing on it, which I can't read because it's too badly worn, but it'll be military button from either World War I or World War II. That is the last coin that I dug up, which I thought might be a coin of nothingness, and it is. That's the threepenny bit that we dug up, 1941. There's the thrift plan on the back. George VI, as I said, if you found one of his brother's coins, Edward VIII, you'd be very lucky, because they didn't mint any to put into circulation, because he was only on the throne for about a year in 1936 and then he abdicated. They did send some of his coins to the British colonies, but they only had the writing on and they didn't have his face on. But you'll never dig one of his coins up anyway, because, well, they didn't make any. That is the beautiful little silver hammered coin that I dug up. I've done the research on it, and the best I can make out is it's Edward II, who was on the throne from 1307 to 1327. Beautiful little coin. It's not in bad condition either, apart from it being clipped very heavily. But a beautiful little find. Really pleased with that. Really pleased. Now, some of you will probably think that that is the best find of the day, and if you do think that, I can quite understand it. But for me, the best find of the day is this little chap. When I dug it up, I wasn't quite sure what it was or who it was, but as soon as I cleaned it up, I did know who it was. It's Napoleon Bonaparte. Quite clearly. You can even see the little sword down the side of his leg just there. He's got a little pot belly, which Napoleon had, and on the side of his hat just there you can see the little star or rosette that he had fastened on the left hand side of his hat. Now, it's possible it could be from the Napoleonic Wars, which were in between 1800 and 1815, but I doubt that very much, because during that period over here he was a very unpopular chap, as you can imagine. It's more likely to be from about 1785, which was the start of the French Revolution, when he was popular. But it didn't last long, because at the end of the French Revolution he turned into a bit of a despot and a bit of a nutter and proclaimed himself emperor. And after that he became very unpopular. And as I say, during the Napoleonic Wars, I can't see anybody buying their child something like this, because, well, basically over here they hated him. But that for me is the best find of the day. I absolutely love that. Right then, my friends, those are the finds, so just give me a second. Right, my friends, those were the finds. Not a lot, granted, but some very nice bits and pieces there. You don't have to find a lot, just as long as you find some things that you like. Doesn't have to be silver or gold, doesn't have to be fantastic, as long as it's interesting and it's got a bit of history to it. That's the important thing. Anyway, don't forget to check out Julie from Down to Earth Detecting, and don't forget to check out the Old Farts Detecting Group UK on Facebook. And I'll see you all the next time round, my friends, and thank you very much for joining me. It is appreciated. And of course, thank you to all my subscribers and viewers, new and old. It's great to have you all on board, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.